Hi, I'm Mike Butterworth. I'm the director of the Center for Sports Communication and Media in the Moody College of Communication here at the University of Texas at Austin. And I have here with me as our guest Dr. Adam Earnhardt, chair of the Department of Communication and professor of communication at Youngstown State University. Adam, you are an expert in sports communication broadly and especially fan identity and social media. We've got 5 questions for you that we want to
Awesome. Bring it.
throw at you.
I'm ready.
All right. So, question number 1: what's the most important thing students should know about sports fans?
That we don't know enough about sports fans yet. I think that's the key. We want students to be exposed to these studies because we want them to take the ball and run with it, if you don't mind the pun, sorry. But
Puns are good.
Thank you, especially in sports, right?
Absolutely.
We want to know more about these fans, and I think we just have scratched the surface, not only in our own discipline of communication, but in psychology, sociology, business. And the other great thing about this too for students is that it really doesn't matter what your major is. It doesn't matter what your planned profession is. This stuff kind of fandom weaves into everything that we do, and it kind of influences a lot of what the decisions that we make.
All right. So, question 2 for you. If students need to know more about fans, what should sports communication scholars be studying?
Oh boy. Well, I think, for the most part, we should be examining a little bit more about the allegiance to teams. Fan identity is a big one. One of the things that we've probably examined in depth is motivation. So fan motivation. What gets somebody going? Is it a family connection, social utility, entertainment? We talk about eustress, or this euphoric stress that we feel when we're watching sports. What brings somebody to sports and wants them and gets them to consume sports? We know a lot about those motives. What we don't know a lot about is how those motives apply to different teams, different sports, different teams, different sports settings, and in terms of fan affinity, whether or not people who are high on the affinity scale actually have different motives than people who are low on the fan affinity or sport affinity scale. So those are all things I think we could be exploring more.
So, a full research agenda ahead.
Oh,
for you.
yeah.
Are we in the United States too invested in sports?
Oh boy. Well, you could look at the number of dollars that we spend each day on sports, right, or each year on each season on sports. I was with a woman yesterday who told me she spends anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000 a year on sports. And if you think about that, it doesn't sound like a lot, especially if you're.
It does.
It does. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Thank you. Depending on who's watching this, it may not sound like a lot, but yeah, for people who are deeply invested in the team, then yeah, that number dollar might not seem like a lot to them, but for the rest of us, that seems like a lot, especially whenever we're shelling out, $50 for a ticket, $20 for a hot dog and Coke. I mean, that seems like a lot of money. So from this perspective, yes, but I think what we should do is look more globally and think about how invested we are as in different nations, different countries in sports. And I think what you'll find is there's a lot of parallels between how we consume sports in the United States and how they do in other countries. Different sports, obviously, football big here, soccer big in other countries. Mm-hmm. And so how we become invested in sports actually may be very similar to other countries.
So, thinking a little bit more about you personally as a sports fan, what's the one sporting event you would most like to attend in person?
That's easy for me, and I think probably because of when this is being recorded, the opening ceremonies are going on right now, I think.
They may be done now, but they'll be on tonight.
We won't see them until tonight because of that time shift. I would actually love to attend the Olympics, either an opening ceremony or a closing ceremony, just to kind of see the pageantry. What we understand about fandom is that it's completely different whenever you look at the Olympics versus cheering for your favorite team, right? All of a sudden, like if you watch the Super Bowl, we're divided as a country, Philadelphia Eagles, New England Patriots, right? But then all of a sudden something happens a week later where we all come together and kind of unite as sports fans around our national team, Team USA, right? That kind of fascinates me. Beyond that, I'd love to go to a Super Bowl sometime, but my Steelers would have to be there. So,
Well, at least you're in the mix. I'm a Bears fan, so
Oh,
I
well,
have
then you'll
no,
never, yeah.
no hope whatsoever in the near future. Would you prefer a winter or a summer Olympics, or does it matter to you?
Oh boy. Well, okay. So I'm an Ohio guy, Ohio, Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania. So Winter Olympics would be fine, but yeah, I mean, I also play basketball, so I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So if you were not studying sports as a scholar, what would you be studying?
All right, this might throw you off a little bit, but I actually am fascinated by space, space exploration. I'm completely geeked out by the whole SpaceX program and Elon Musk and shooting one of his cars out into space, which I realize is kind of ridiculous, but I'm kind of pumped up by that. I actually had some time to spend at NASA at the Goddard Space Flight program in Greenbelt, Maryland, a few months ago. And it was a social media program where if you've got social media accounts and you've got like a lot of followers and you can be influential on social media, they'll invite you down and they'll kind of take you behind the scenes and see all the new satellites that they're building and what they're launching out into space. And I got to see mission control for the Hubble Space Telescope, which was awesome. Totally geeked out over that. But yeah, I'm the kind of guy, I think, who ultimately would like to have his ashes blasted off out into space, right? It was like Kirk or whoever that was. Scotty had his ashes blasted out into space. I think I would kind of be that guy because that's the kind of stuff that really interests me. From a communications point of view, though, I think that there's a lot that we could be studying in our discipline in terms of PR. So how we did a really good job of unpacking how we explored the space race, the moon landing race, and all that kind of stuff. Now it's Mars, and I'd love to kind of be a part of that at some point.
Yeah. Well, I like the parallel too between being a sports fan, talking about having your ashes blasted out into space. It makes me think of fans who want their ashes scattered over the stadium or the field. Yeah.
That's absolutely, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it reminds me of these people who have their entire funerals set up with all of the team logos, and there was a guy who had his funeral where he was actually not in a casket, but in his recliner in front of a TV. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. So.
That's taking it to a new level. So,
yeah, there you go.
Those are our questions.
What a way to end it.
That's a perfect way to end it. So Dr. Adam Earnhardt, our guest at the Center for Sports Communication and Media, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet.